Hey, Devonna.
Time done 8. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. It's 8:01. How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
Good. It's just me and Jamal, huh?
The Maurice and Jamal Show.
There we go. Oh, what's up, Irv? Okay, Lynette. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. As usual with testimonies between now and last session from last week, last Thursday. So anything new, new clients, loss of clients, roadblocks, personal travel. Just
Oh,
unmute yourself. There we go.
You kind
I'm Lynette.
you kind of low, Mo. Go ahead,
Is
Lynette.
that better?
Yeah, you must be on the iPhone, right?
Okay, get off the iPhone. I'm iPhone too.
That's what. Uh-oh.
um, I I have I guess a testimony. I do strictly cruises. I don't. I do a little bit of travel to the islands too, but my main focus is cruises because that's what I like, and that kind of is what works for me. I had one incident where a lady canceled because of the coronavirus. That kind of threw me off a little bit. But then, like, not even 24 hours, I booked 8 cruises right behind that.
Hmm.
And then within a week's time, I booked 18 cruises.
Good Lord.
So it was kind of like, it kind of was a shock for me because some people are saying that they're afraid, but then some people are like, look, book me. I don't care about that coronavirus like a flu. And they moving forward. So I kind of don't know how to deal with that or just accept it for what it is. It's just because travel is up and down. What do you guys think?
Well, first of
First
all, good job.
18 cruises in a week.
Yes, in a
Oh,
week.
wow, that's
18
awesome.
cruises in a
Congrats.
week. Wow. Well, we always gonna have things in travel. I mean, you got to think it's an international business. Any business, a lot of businesses are affected by this. You look at Amazon, UPS. It's just not travel. It's just travel is getting the attention right now because of the things that are happening when people come across someone who may have symptoms. They have to go in quarantine and things of that nature. So the best thing to do is follow the CDC, um, see what they're saying about it. Sometimes Facebook news can be just what it is, Facebook news, and just educate your clients. You know, Maurice and I talked today. You can get the coronavirus going to Lithonia. We take it seriously, but it's ebbs and flows in the business. You look at the stuff that happened in Dominican Republic. The year before that, I think it was Mexico, and one year was Jamaica. So you just got to educate your client, and you're gonna have some people who kind of live their life in fear. And I understand that.
Well, I spoke with Carnival, which is who I'm booking with. I'm in. They send a lot of feedback out, document wise, about updates and different things like that. And I call them on everything. Anything I hear, see, different stuff, you know, because I the questions that come at me, you know, from my clients because I don't want them to be in fear. I'm booking just like they booking. I'm waiting on my trips just like they waiting on their trips. So I don't want them to be in fear, no myself. So I do try to educate them as much as I try to, but I don't want to put too much out there because I know they're gonna freak. So I don't want them to do that. Because all you got to do is tell one negative thing and it flows like wildfire.
Yeah, that's just the karma of things. You know, the bad news goes down, you know, to everybody versus the good news being spread like that. Because when everything happened in Dominican Republic and the reports were released, you didn't see anybody sharing that stuff. They were sharing everything else, right?
Right, right. You're
Yeah,
right.
you know, so, but great job, great job. Just educate your clients. I mean, an informed client is a good client, and you know, you make it about them. And I guarantee you, you know, these people, they become like ambassadors for you. I'm telling you. I was at the travel trade show and I asked the big boys, the cruise planners. You know, I like to get inquisitive when I meet other agents. How do you guys get most of your business? And they get most of their business through the R word. Does anybody know what the R word is? For $20, anybody? Referrals. Referrals. So if you just treat people good, you take care of them, they'll take care of you. Good job. Anybody else? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, okay. Well, I didn't book, what you said, 21 cruises, 18 cruises, in 1 week. But I did go to
18.
the travel trade show, and one thing I learned, you know, sometimes we focus on the Caribbean or international destination, or you know, cruises like Lynette. You know, she's a cruise specialist. But there are a lot of little trip, not little trip. There are a lot of places they can go to right in our backyard. The young lady introduced me to what's going on in Montgomery with the museums, and they got different walking tours. You know, that's a vacation because you see spring break, things of that nature. Um, Vegas, I got a whole traveler's passport on a Nevada road trip, just different things to do outside of the strip. West Virginia, I would never think to go to West Virginia or what's in West Virginia. Different wine tours right here in Georgia. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. The Outer Banks, anybody familiar with the Outer Banks in North Carolina? Cabins in North Georgia, Tennessee, wild water rafting right here in Georgia. I mean, so there's a lot of stuff that I took from that travel trade show, because you know sometimes we talk to people and they'll say, "Well, I don't know where I want to go." Anybody ever heard that? Nobody never heard that. Okay, okay, cool. Well,
I've
now
heard
I
it.
got all kind of guys that I can take a look at and suggest things to them. And like I told Lynette, you know, an informed client is a good client because, you know, like I said, referrals, they can pay a lot of bills for you. And I also booked 6 room to the Bahia on Friday, one to the Reggae on Thursday, um, and 7 cabins on Saturday. Anybody else?
Still got a few more minutes.
Maurice,
Anyone?
can you hear me?
Oh, what's up, Eric? Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually lost a couple of group cruises this yesterday because of the coronavirus, but the first one was a family cruise in December, and the young lady who put the cruise together canceled it without telling some people in the group. So I had some folks from New Jersey who had already paid for their flight
Mm.
to Tampa because they were going out of Tampa. So I don't know if there was a disconnect between the sister-in-law with the other sister-in-law because the girl's brother was going and they put it together. So I had to. One of the young ladies, she lost her deposit on her cruise because she got a non-refundable deposit, and her mother lost. Well, she got a voucher, but she get to use for a year on the flights that she booked because she didn't book her room because the other young lady hadn't booked her cabin yet. So basically, she spent $1,100 on flights with me for her daughter, and her grandson. That all she got was a air credit that she can use within a year, so she can't get her money back. And then I had another group that was supposed to be going on a Royal Caribbean cruise in October. She canceled out, but four of the people that booked, this one guy called and he booked booked 4 cabins for his whole family. They say they going on a cruise. So I ended up only having 4 out of that group now, 4 rooms. So that's how my week started yesterday. It's crazy.
Now I see a lot of cruise lines are relaxing their cancellation policies. So I'm not sure if Carnival is going to stand firm because I know they haven't announced anything yet. That's unfortunate.
Well, it's funny you say that, Jamal, because sometimes you can call and get a person with Carnival that tries to help you work through your situations. And then sometimes you get somebody who's trying to get you off the phone, so they're not even trying to work with you. So I just told her, they gave her $150 back out of her $350. So I just told her that I would call back another day to see if I might can catch somebody who would be willing to work with her to try to give her money back.
Right. And that's good, fight for them, because sometimes when you do things like that, people remember how you treat them. And like I said, you just never know what one person be able to do for your business moving forward, especially if you got that money back for them. Anyone else?
One thing I want to add is definitely during this time.
Hold on, I think somebody. Go ahead.
Jamal, this is Elisa. Can you hear me?
Hey, Elisa, how you doing?
I'm amazing. I just kind of wanted to add to what Irvin was saying. Those reps, and this is sad to say, they know nothing. I know me, I'm going to fight like it's my own trip. Normally, what I do, if that's a situation, I would give the rep the respect and let them do what they're supposed to do. And then I'll say, you know what, before we 100% cancel, let me speak to your supervisor. And they go say a number of things. Oh, supervisor's busy. Oh, supervisor at lunch. And it's 9 o'clock. Oh, supervisor's not available. I have time, I can wait. Normally, especially with Carnival, my clients' money back. 9 times out of 10, it's not, a virus situation. It's their fault or can't get off work or something silly. They forgot somebody was getting married, whatever the case is. But I, being a professional, I will reword it in some kind of way, get their money back. And with Carnival, you can do something called escalation to email, which I can't think of the email right now, but there's an email you can send. But normally I will
You going in and out, Alyssa. I think your iPhone acting up. Alyssa. She'll come back, guys. Anybody else?
Hey, this is April. How are y'all?
Alyssa, I think your phone, the iPhone.
That's somebody else just came. April.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you kind of.
Yeah, we can hear you.
A little static.
Better?
We'll figure it out.
just, received some. First of all, everybody, thank you for y'all feedback. I'm over here taking notes about people's experiences and what to do just in case. But I was just going to say that if you have clients that are booking for flights or you're looking for packages, there was a significant price drop today in some of the flights. So as this corona scare is kind of going around, some of those flight prices are becoming a little bit more flexible as well. So just keep that in mind.
Anybody else? Thank you, April.
Yeah, also with that, I want to say make sure you pay attention to your emails as far as updates from the vendors and suppliers during this time. I believe Vacation Express sent out an email today. They're extending the final payment date to 15 days. I think it's 15 days out now. So, different announcements and things coming via email, or just make sure you pay attention. Anybody else see that? It is 15 days, right?
Yeah, I saw that. It's 15 days. You're correct.
Okay.
What is it, 15 days? They extended it 15 more days from the final payment date, is what you're telling me?
Well, no, 15 days prior to your date of travel.
Gotcha.
Right.
Versus the 45?
Correct.
Right.
Y'all so smart, man. I couldn't figure it out. I thought somebody canceled.
But I mean, that says a lot, 15 days out. Now they did say what the non-refundable rates still apply in relation to the hotel's actual policy, cancellation policy. So just keep an eye out. But it's 8:17, so we'll go ahead and get started, Jamal. So I know we've been talking about wave season for the past couple months, actually starting in December. We started with the discussion as far as wave season, get wave season and getting ready for wave season. But I know tonight we're going to kind of talk about, pretty much just your business, a lot of different steps and mindset as well. So I'm actually turning it over to you, Jamal, get us started off.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. And last week we took a break off, so forgive us. But that won't happen again unless something just prevents that happening. So I know, like Maurice was mentioning, wave season. And if you guys are not familiar with wave season, it's really a busy time during travel from pretty much January to probably beginning of April into March. I may have my dates wrong, and we talked about it prior. But, I'm not sure about you guys. I find myself busy. And what I mean by busy, feel like I'm an octopus on roller skates. And I'm just being transparent because, I really want to get to everybody. And sometimes you can't. But, sometimes you got to take time out for yourself because if you don't, you won't be able to service anyone. I'm not sure, but I'm growing grays in my beard. I don't look 32 anymore, but it's okay. So, but you want to make sure you take care of yourself. And sometimes, you could be busy, right? You're sending out quotes, you're talking to people, but it's a difference between being busy and productive. And we all go through it. And I'm just being transparent about myself. And if you feel free to chime in, tell us about some of the things you may feel like it's roadblocks for you in your business. But, that's not sustainable because, when I focus more on recruiting, we were going 30, 60, 90-day runs, where it's nonstop, where you have to talk to your family, put your head down. And I kind of see this right here the same way, I'm busy, and I've never been this busy before. Sometimes I forget to talk to people. Anybody forget to talk to those people? Yep. So it can happen. The first thing you got to do is make yourself aware that, you need the balance. Because if you don't have that balance, man, I'm telling you, you would hate to make a mistake in travel. I was telling a new agent today, you could go to Target and make a mistake, that may be a $30 mistake, $40 mistake, $100 mistake if it's real bad. In travel, you got a mistake, you got a mistake in travel, you know, you talking hundreds, even thousands of dollars, you know, just because you're not attentive to what you're doing. And sometimes you're not attentive because you got your hand everywhere. You got your hand over here, your foot over there too. You're trying to talk on the phone while you're doing a quote, scrolling your Facebook. Nobody's ever done this before, right? Okay.
Booking the wrong flights.
Oh man, don't book that wrong flight. So you just gotta be aware of having balance in your life, and you know you're gonna take the steps to achieve balance, because you know in our culture it isn't easy because there's a lot of things to keep you distracted, lots and lots of things to keep you distracted, and you know you got to be responsible and take accountability for yourself, because nobody's gonna care about you like you do. And what I mean by that, you know, take some time to kind of cleanse yourself for all the other things that you may have going on, so you could be at 100%, or at least operating at a high efficiency, so you're able to serve people. Because you got to remember, we are in the hospitality business, and some days you can have some days where your tone may come off like you're not hospitable, right? And I think one of the things that helped me out is when I talk to the vendors, and you know, I know, let's just say sometimes, you know, some agents may seem kind of, you know, may not know what they're talking about. And some vendors I talk to, it's always pleasant. So I try to model that behavior for myself, because I don't want to sound like I have a lot going on when I really don't have a lot going on. It's just me doing too much and not really focusing on what I need to do. Maurice, would you like to chime in? Or anybody like to chime in?
Yeah, I want to chime in. This
Go
is
ahead.
Lynette. I had a situation happen to me where I actually booked a cruise and I touched the wrong button and put insurance on the cruise, and the client didn't want it, and it wouldn't let me back out of it. So that meant they had just paid off their deposit. That meant it was going to cost them more to pay off the insurance, and I couldn't correct it. So I had to go call them the next day to get that corrected. Well, the lady said, well, no, they got to pay that. I didn't want to hear that. So I said, well, thank you very much. I got off the phone with her. I don't like no. So I'm a yes person. So I kept trying back till I got the right person to talk to get them to take that off. And they did. But it was just a matter of talking to the right person and getting the right person with the right attitude that was willing to help me. And it was a simple fix.
Well, good stuff.
But it was just something, you know, because I didn't want to give up, because I didn't want to come out my pocket with it. But it was my mistake.
And how did it make you feel at the time, knowing that it was an error on your part?
I almost lost it, because I'm a check and recheck person before I do anything. And that particular time, I was doing something quickly and just hit a button. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to fix this? And I can't tell them people, now they got to come up with another $96. They had just put down $196. So I knew I had to fix that. So it was just something that it kind of took me for a loop, but it made me think, okay, you're gonna have to slow down. This was during the time when I was booking them 18 cruises with all these different people. And I was like, okay, you're gonna have to slow down and rethink what you're doing, because you're doing too much right now. And, I had to kind of get myself back together. But I'm glad it worked out.
And what's going to happen, it sharpens you. It sharpens you. It sharpens you. It sharpens you. A lot of us are dealing with, questions and cancellations. But I don't know if y'all remember last year, Dominican Republic, that was trial by fire for a lot of us. So now, a lot of us are being proactive and, reaching out to the clients you know, seeing how they feel, kind of getting a pulse, and just expecting things to happen versus when it does happen, it takes you out the game because you're not ready for it. But you want to have these bumps and bruises to allow you to learn from it. So, you know, you learn from it. So you always got to look at it, you know, from a different perspective sometimes. Anyone else?
Yeah, that's true, because when you think about it, every year something happens that, you know, can potentially affect your business or future business too. So you got to definitely be prepared. I mean, and is it, you know, something like this is, you know, you have to be knowledgeable. Like you said, service goes a long way, and accountability and ownership, like Lynette just shared. So good stuff.
Good stuff. So,
Lynette, I've actually had that same thing happen, and I ended up taking the L because it was my mistake, and I didn't catch it until later. And I think, you know, they must have been playing the Russian roulette with, you know, well, how much is insurance? Well, can I add it? You know, I want it, I don't want it. And I had it on there and just never took it off. So I took the L on the insurance. So I know better now. And I think that was because I was doing so much as well.
yeah, so we want to make sure, if I'm not sure if anyone heard this saying before, sometimes we got to slow down, to speed back up, you know, because, you know, you're going fast and, you know, sometimes you're not looking at your right, you're not looking at your left. And when a bump happened to you, you know, it could take you out. I mean, I know me, I don't want to call myself Mr. Mistake, but I'm learning. You know, sometimes I got to pull that card out and say, man, my math was off. And, but you know, it's a lesson to you, because I would rather have a $96 mistake than a $4,000 mistake. Because y'all know sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah, these trips, you know, it's right now we're booking, you know, I'm not sure all of us, you know, a lot of us booking mid-level stuff. When you start jumping up, yeah, you playing with a little bit more money. So you really got to be attentive to detail. That's why it's great to have people sign stuff, because, you know, people will say, well, I didn't say that. Well, you didn't say it, but you signed it. But you get the point I'm trying to make. So, you know, you'll be ready for when the big things do occur, because they will happen, but it's how you respond to when they happen. Because if you're not ready when they happen, the next thing you know, the hands start moving, the neck start moving, you start saying bruh versus sir. Now, homeboy, don't, we in business. You don't want that. So determine your pain point so you know what to fix. You know, like many agents working a lot of hours on bookings and make you very little money, those aren't your ideal client. You know, sometimes we scavenger for these clients. You know, I do. So one thing I learned on that webinar that I was so glad he introduced me to that. You don't want everybody to be in your business. I mean, you just don't. You don't want to do business with everybody. You just don't. So if you want something new, right? You want the right people to come, guess what you got to do? You got to make space for them. So sometimes you got to turn away the business. You know, I found myself today, I think I got another gray hair, doing everything for everybody else. And it's like, man, I got to get back to the other people who was ready first, you know, but here I go trying to service everybody. And sometimes you just can't. So if you're already working 12 hours a day or 6 days a week, you're not going to have time for that ideal client. Because guess what? And this is an inside joke. It's an inside joke, and it's not to talk about anybody. You might be servicing the looky-loos. And if you're servicing the looky-loos, people that are just looking, you're going to miss the people who are really there for booking, right? And you probably get so tired you won't recognize the opportunities when they're put in your path. And this is a law. I can't think of the law. But sometimes we don't recognize the opportunity sometimes that we ask for. I can't think of that law. Man, I should have had some notes in front of me. So how do you turn away clients? First step, one that the majority of travel agents need to work on. That's the first step. Okay, you got to get super clear about who your ideal client is and what you have to offer them, so you know who you don't want to work with. I'm beginning to get to that point where, You know, somebody inbox me, I'm looking for such and such, blah, 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 blah. And based on the type of people I want to work with, I can decide if I want to or not, because you don't want to seem desperate. You know, y'all women can relate to this. You man buy you a drink, ask you for your phone number. Next thing you know, he's stalking you, texting you. You know what kind of car you drive. You don't want to deal with him. Desperate, right? So if you can't currently articulate that, take time to figure it out. Okay? And that's sometimes we got to slow down and speed up. So don't worry about whether or not those people live in your community, and don't be discouraged if you don't even know these people now. Guys, they are out there. And I know we only have like 30 minutes, but I want to share something with you that I saw at the travel trade show. And Maurice, don't say nothing. Nikki, I know y'all know. Well, I ain't gonna say I know y'all know. Y'all might know. Has anybody ever heard of Hapag and Lloyd cruises? Has anybody ever heard of them? If you have, give me a 1. I know some people might be in noisy backgrounds. Well, let me tell you, it's expedition cruises. And I talked to the lady. You know, some of their ships only hold 200 people, and they're going to see seals and look at whales and give the whale shots. You know, it's expedition cruises. But some of them people we don't know. So I was like, how do you guys find these people? And the first thing she said, they are out there. They're not going out of business because they're not servicing everybody. They're just servicing a select few. And that's when the niche comes in. You know, Lynette says she focuses on cruises. So she attracts people who want to get on cruises. But just imagine when we get to the point when you're only booking certain type of cruises, a certain type of clients. Because I don't want anybody to feel like their business not going the way you want it to go right now. Because has anybody ever heard the story of the bamboo tree? Has anybody ever heard that story? Well, Les Brown bamboo tree story. I love this story. The bamboo tree, it takes about 5 years, 3 to 5 years. I can't think of the actual figure, but it doesn't grow. You don't see any results. You don't see any result for like the first 3 to 5 years. Why? Because the roots grow down. So the roots grow down because it has to get strength, grounded. And that's how your business is. Sometimes you may be working and grinding and feel like you're just hitting the wall. You're not getting what you want. No, that's sharpening you. Your bamboo is going down. Then all of a sudden, the tree shoots up almost 30 feet in the air. See, sometimes you may not see the results right away, but you just got to keep working and stay consistent and working on you. So when the right people come, they will come, and they are out there. You want to be ready for them, okay? So a great way to weed out wasting time clients and those with really low budgets who often take as much time as luxury clients is to charge a professional fee. I know some of you charge fees. I don't charge a fee. So this really hit below the belt, stepped on my toes, or whatever you want to call it. If you're a professional, you should be paid for your time. Point blank, period. Okay? So this is really hitting home for me. Okay. So the commission, check this out. The commission is a thank you from a supplier, has no bearing on your professional fees. Implementing a fee will not only help improve your financial picture. Who was that? Yeah, it's a young lady on Facebook. I don't want to say her name because I don't want y'all going looking for her. She made $11,000. She ain't booked no travel for like 60 days. She made $11,000. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. Okay? Especially if you're an independent contractor, because you can often process those yourself and keep 100%. So think about it. Lynette says she did 18 cruises. We're using her for an example. We're not picking on you, Lynette. But just imagine if she had a $50 booking fee. Somebody do the math on that. Somebody.
$900.
How much is it?
Is that 900?
I'm not real good at math. Thank you, Tasha. It takes the 5th year. Thank you, Tasha. See, That doggone Tasha boy, she be coming through like Michael Jordan. So it would also reduce your workload by eliminating high maintenance, low spend clients. Because would you want to spend more time with a high maintenance client who's spending 20, 30, $40,000 with you, or somebody who's trying to save $200 by driving to another city for a $1,300 trip?
And $107 commission.
How much is it?
$107.
You done spend 8 hours with them? So, a word of caution here: before you implement fees, make sure you have gotten really clear on what your ideal client is and what you offer them. So when you get to that point, you will be far more confident in discussing your fee structure with your clients. Because if you sound like you're not sure, people sense that, then you end up waiving it, feeling resentful toward the client. You don't want to have a bad scenario. Because I don't have fees, but when I hear people that do have fees and they tell me what kind of day they had, I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, that's good. So this is what we really want to get to. This is what I really wanted to get to. This is why I was rushing through it. So is social media harmful to your business? Many of us can spend way too much time on social media and Facebook. I'm going to say me, because I know nobody else does this. I spend way too much time on social media and Facebook in particular, okay? Social media is a tool and should be managed like any other tool. See, I said me because you have to make yourself aware. Remember we talked about that? So you should spend as much time on it as necessary to get the job done. Anybody feel like that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So social media is fun. I've been seeing some funny memes. Me and my wife share memes from time to time. I think I saw the one about if you drunk Boone's Farms when you were little, what's the one about the Boone's Farms joke in Corona? I can't remember. But anyway, I see little stuff like that. I laugh. Sometimes I may read comments when I see people going through stuff. Or somebody may post something controversial. Let me see who comment. See, nobody else does this, but I do it. So like I said, this one right here really hit me. Yeah, it can be a distraction. That's right. And it can pay big time. She's right. And you get caught up. That's the part we're going to talk about. So you can spend hours scrolling through posts. Anybody scroll through posts? Let me tell you how bad I got it. Let me show you how bad I got it. My wife told me, can I hold her like I hold my phone? Uh-oh. Nobody hold their phone. Nobody look at. Some of y'all probably looking at your phone right now on social media. Right? But seriously, I found myself on social media all the time with no direction, no intention. So, hold up. Did I skip one? Yeah, nope. Here we go. So is it taking away valuable time and mental bandwidth from your business? That's a question we could all ask ourselves. Is it taking away mental bandwidth? Because, you ever hear the saying when people tell you, I don't want to be on Facebook because there ain't nothing but drama on Facebook or social media in general. Do you know why they say that? Can y'all hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, cool. A lot of times they say that because they following the wrong people. And sometimes, hey, you get to looking at that stuff. Person A talking about person B, and next thing you know, you you're trying to put two and two together. Are they talking about? Oh, I know what they talk. And it's like the days of our lives. And now you find yourself going back to go read what they saying. We've seen it. And some of you never done this before like me, but I have done this. So you only have so many hours in a day. You have 24, you know? Some of us work, we do this part-time, and so much energy to devote to your business. So it doesn't make sense to devote so much of it to social media without an intention. See, we had these social media, what that social media guide we did a few weeks back. And if anybody needs that, yeah, we could send that to you. But it's a roadmap. And you'll find yourself, like Lisa said, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in and out, in and out. And then you'll be like me, I got the phone in my hand when I'm driving. I got the phone in my hand when I'm going to bed. I wake up, I check the phone. I get out the shower, I check the phone. Anybody ever? And I feel so good because I haven't looked at the phone since I've been on the call. That makes me feel good. So if I took 1/2 or even 1/4 of the time I spend surfing social media, instead put that into business building activities, your business would be significantly better. Yeah, I know, Alyssa. Alyssa, I be driving with the phone. I'm just being transparent. I'm just telling you. I be looking at the light. Let me look. But yeah, so if I spend that time and devote to something else, and I don't do exercise. When we don't do exercise, I want everybody to fold their arms. Everybody fold their arms. If you're driving, don't do this. And I want you to tell me what arm is on top. If your right arm is on top, give me a 1. If your left arm is on top, give me a 2. Okay, 1, thank you. Now, if you do it again, you're gonna have the same result. The reason why, it's a habit. Guys, we have habits that serve us and we have habits that don't. So sometimes social media can have you doing things like procrastinating. I know I got this cruise, I need to call these people, but guess what? I'm on social media. I'm supposed to have the class stuff done by Monday, but guess what? I was on social media. Is that procrastinating? Absolutely. Absolutely. So you feel validated by responding to other people's posts. Does anybody ever did this before? Did they hang? Don't hang up, y'all. I ain't trying to be mean. I'm just, I didn't even write this. Somebody else wrote this. I didn't even write this. Somebody else wrote it. I didn't put all the stuff she wrote in here, because you probably would hang up. But yeah, so sometimes we get on there just to say, let me see what my friend said. Let me see what such and such said. You know who I follow the most? And I love following this person? Is my good friend Karen. Karen makes me work my business. She makes me work my business because I see her working, right? And sometimes you can get inside that drama and don't get inside that drama trying to figure out no. Business. Everybody type that, business. It needs to be about business. And nothing's wrong with the family stuff. And I'm not saying just get on there and just be focused on that. But, if we cut out a little bit, right, and it adds up, a little bit can be a lot. It's like going to work out. You're not going to just go in there the first day and just look like Maurice. That's not going to happen. It takes some time. You got to keep on working, right? You do a little bit at a time and you'll see results. And sometimes you're just not sure what else to do. That's when your calendar comes in. I don't have a calendar. Sometimes I don't know what to do. Now I'm not feeling lonely now. I don't know about that. Some people might be feeling lonely. And sometimes you need that social validation by getting on and see how other people live in their lives. So you can feel like you a part of it, So ask yourself, are you doing these things? Can anybody relate to this? And I know I'm doing all the talking. I don't mean to. Does anybody else? Go ahead.
Yeah, just one thing I want to add is I say probably the past month, I made a point to not and I know we talk about using your social media for business, but I made a point not to spend as much time on social media, just to and I noticed even going back to, what's that one? You just aren't sure what else to do. So I make a daily checklist of every task that I need to complete by midnight for that particular day. And I've limited my time on social media as well. And I've noticed, as far as my efficiency of getting stuff completed in a timely manner, it's improved so much. So, social media can kind of, it's been times you sit there and 2 hours go by, you've been watching video after video, and you hadn't learned a single thing. It happens to everybody. So just got to be careful with it. But I have started to make a list every day. Every time I complete a task, I cross it out, just for that feeling of accomplishment. And it's helped out a lot for me personally.
But that's good. Anybody else? So just me and you got these sob stories. Well, you got the good story. I got the sob story.
Hey, Jamal.
Hey, Alyssa, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm sitting here cracking up. Just to kind of piggyback off of what Maurice said, those lists are important. One thing that I learned last year from a multimillionaire is never go to bed until, number one, your list is complete, no matter what time it is. Number two, make sure you create your list for the next day before you go to sleep and you review it. That way, when you wake up, you know what the game plan is. You know what you have to do. I don't care if you have to reach out to a potential client. If you have to, make some, do something with the group, whatever it is, put everything down on paper. If it's in your brain, you're going to forget if you're like me. Don't think you're going to remember it in your phone. You're going to do other stuff like, AKA, scroll on Facebook. Put it on your paper or get you a journal. Get something where you can get these lists down and you can be held accountable for it. That way, it'll get done. If you want to go to bed, say before midnight, get that list done. But make sure you also create the list for the following day. For an example, my Friday list is already done. I know what the game plan is. I know what I have to get done by Friday before I go to bed. That's all I have.
What? Don't go nowhere.
Sorry.
Don't go nowhere. So can you make the list for Saturday on Thursday and Sunday on Thursday? Can you make the list like days before the actual day? Can you do that too?
If you're organized, yes. I choose not to, only because let's just say life happens. We all are very busy outside of our business. Let's say if life happens and you have to move something over to another day, then do that. But you can, of course, make a Saturday list. Right now, I can't get past my Friday list, Jamal, to make a Saturday list. Because my Friday list has 25 different things on it, and I'm sure Tim will be added before midnight of Friday gets here, of Saturday gets here. So if you that organized and can keep up with it, like me, it'll probably get lost. But go ahead. But I just like to complete my Thursday list. Like I have 12 more items to get done before I close my eyes tonight. And I also am going to review my Friday list one more time so I know what's the game plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why she makes all the money. Karen says the days she don't have a long list, she make sure to get 5 things accomplished towards her quarter goals. Guys, I'm going to tell you a great book to read or audio book, Top 10 Distinctions Between the Middle Class and Millionaires. I may be saying the name wrong, by Keith Cameron Smith. And you'll have a great idea where you're at, just in the way you think, and I'm not going to go over that, but once you read it, it'll make more sense to you what I'm trying to say. Because some people make quarterly goals, yearly goals, 5-year goals, 10-year goals. Then you got some people who live day to day. You don't want to be the day to day. I don't want to be the day to day. But if I want change, and if you want change, guess what got to change? You can change, right? So social media can be an effective tool for you as a travel agent. So set goals for how you use each platform. Set goals for how you use each platform. Sorry for the typo, guys. What do you want to achieve with each of the sites you're on? You know, you probably have multiple reasons ranging from business development to social interactions and connecting with your tribe. Just be aware of that. Just be aware of that so you can achieve these goals and move on. One of the things I like to do is I like to follow certain people and get content from 'em. I can't remember the guy's name. I get on his page and I get my content because, you know, I don't want to be just travel. I get some eye-opening stuff, but I also read some of the stuff that he shares too. And there's a lot of good stuff out there, guys, you know, that you can really pour into yourself. Because remember, you got to take care of you too. And if you got garbage going in, guess what's going to come out? Everybody guess $20, whoever said first. Nobody said it. Nobody want the $20.
More garbage.
There we go. You don't count, Maurice. Dedicate a specific amount of time to each social media each day. Now, let's be honest. Well, Jamal is going to be honest. I go to work. I don't even look at my email. Guess what I'm looking at? Somebody guess. Social media. Social media. So you just got to make sure you're intentional. And this not to beat anybody up, but guys, I feel in my heart that we are sitting on a gold mine with the business we have. We just haven't found the right people to give the gold to sometimes. So, but they're out there, okay? So set a time on your phone. When that time is up, disconnect. You know, it'll be great. You know, reading is good. You know, a reading people is a ruling people. Leaders are readers and readers are leaders. So, you know, it's great to read, you know, and just don't get caught up into the social media trap. And not all social media is bad, but, you know, I just want to just kind of drill down. Like sometimes we'll spend a lot of time on here with no direction. And if you don't go, hey, if you don't have no direction, guess what? You're just going to be operating with no efficiency. And turn off notifications on your browser and phone. I may have 7 browsers up. 3 of them may be social media. And while I'm clicking on something and wait for it to render, I'm checking social media. I'm just telling y'all, guys, so you don't feel like it's me talking at you. So those little pop-up windows only hijack your attention. They create the fear of missing out, which leads a lot of people to spend too much time on social media. And if you look at your notifications, I got 10, let me see what's going on. You know, it becomes a time waster sometimes. So if you see a post 2 or 3 hours after someone make it, it's okay. And sometimes you don't even see the post, you know, just depends on the algorithm, what's going on that day. Make sure you have a marketing plan. Jamal Stevens does not have a marketing plan. And it's not about beat Jamal up, but I just want to be transparent because we have to be aware. If you want to take the next step in life, anything you want to do, you gotta just own up to what needs to be fixed. That's your health, your finances, everything. And if you're not sure what to do to market your business, it can cause you to wander aimlessly through various online communities looking for inspiration. Oh my gosh.
So can we add the marketing plan to the agenda?
Yeah. You want to do it next week?
Sure. Crickets.
Nobody say
Did y'all hear them too? Y'all heard them too?
I'll do it.
Amani says, why not? You know what, Amani? I really don't have a clear answer why not. You know, you just kind of get caught up in doing a lot of busy work. You know, you either sharing something on social media or looking for something for someone, and you really don't take time to write down the things that you need to do. For me. So what Alyssa said really hit home. You know, you have to be intentional. You know, you may think you're being intentional until you step outside that frame and say, dang, I've been on social media for 3 hours. 3 hours times 7 is 21 hours. That's a day.
a whole day. And before you know it, a whole day. But I think one of the things that helps contribute to the creating a marketing plan is once you drill down on a solid niche that you want to focus on or a target market, that helps a lot as far as coming up with a marketing plan, because you're a lot more intentional as far as your message, what you put out there, and like you said, sometimes you got to turn people down, but once you realize that turning someone down or turning three clients down or potential clients is well worth the time and well worth the money and the resources, especially when you do get that right person that's going to reach out to you based off your marketing efforts, because you're targeting the right people. So, it's hard because you feel like you're losing something. You feel like you're going to, I'm not going to make any money because I'm just missing out. I'm turning down bookings, or but you gotta be consistent in the message that you're putting out there, and business, it'll continue to grow, just like that bamboo tree. Like you said, it'll grow and grow and grow, and all of a sudden, you're in the place that you want to be. So I think targeting on a specific market that a specific market that you want to target, I think that plays a big role in it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And find other ways to connect with people on social media, outside of social media. That's what I should have said. The bottom line is, you're probably diverting time that should be spent on business activity to mindless scrolling on Facebook. Yes, it is an important tool, but it's not the only tool, nor is it the only thing worthy of your time and attention. And let me see. I think what's the young lady name? Javonda. Javonda does a good job with the and maybe some of you do too. I'm not sure. She does a lot of vendor events, and I gotta tell a story before we go. I had a young lady post on my page. I got that notification from one of those windows, right? And the young lady asked me for my business card, and I said, "How can I get in touch with you?" Because she never answered her phone. And she answered the phone, and she said, "I know a lot of people that do this, but I only trust you. I've never booked a trip from her." And I say all that to say this, be consistent on social media, but don't be consistently on social media. You follow what I'm saying? Have like Maurice said, some intention, have that list, have that marketing plan. And it's not hard to do it. If you don't know how to do it, anybody know how to find out?
Google.
Girl, who is that? Tasha? That's Tasha?
Yes.
Somebody give her $20. Does anybody have any questions or comments before we close out?
Thank you for the lesson.
Was it April?
No, Monty.
Hey, Monty, what's up?
Nothing.
No, say everything. Don't speak nothing in your life now. Don't do that.
Oh, you said what's up? Oh, I'm
What's
just
up,
over here. Hey, I'm putting in all of these, working hours for everything, for my business. How about that?
Good. So if nobody else has anything to say, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, and let's thank the admin staff for always being available, and that's you guys know who you are, and let's keep getting to the money, man. All right.
Good night.
Good night.